online jury will this year involve 80 jury members. And I wanted, Manu will give you a short, no, sorry, no, it is recording, sorry. Manu will give you a short overview about the call for applications, especially during these times.
Yeah, so just a quick introduction. This year, I understand was expected to be a real challenge for the WSA call. Nevertheless, I'm really, really happy to say that this great community worked quite hard and quite successfully again. So overall, we are closing the call now with 350 nominations from 88 countries, which I think is really great. We're only roughly 80 nominations behind last year, which was probably one of our strongest years so far. And we have, again, a good diversity in the categories. So every category has about 50 nominations. The weakest categories are culture and tourism this year, and smart settlement and urbanization. They only have 35 each. Which I still think is that smart settlements is something that is quite rare still in a lot of countries. And culture seems to be trend-wise like getting weaker and weaker over the years. So
environment is also quite...
Environment is also not that strong. But that is, I think, also resulting because we split now health and environment. So I think that was also like affecting that pure environmental nominations are not that trendy yet, I think. Region-wise, Europe was the strongest with 150 nominations. The rest of the regions has about 30 to 40 nominations. Latin America was quite strong with 50 nominations in total. So I think that all over we're quite happy. Also what I saw already in the database, we have quite interesting applications, especially also reactions to the pandemic. So I think that will be quite exciting. But yeah, I think that's up to you to decide, of course, but I'm looking forward. And again, to our experts that are here, like super, super big thank you. You guys did really wonderful work.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of the online jury, you know that the task for the next weeks is now to decide on the projects that are potential winners. So you will decide now in this round on the shortlist. We can put on the shortlist between 15 and 20 projects maximum by category. This year, we divided the 80 jurors in total 14 jury groups. This is as a result to many complaints in the past years that many jurors said it's just too much work to evaluate up to 60 projects in a few weeks. It's too much workload. So what we did is the categories that have more applications, we divided them in two. Of course, whoever finished with the first part of the category and has still some energy left and would be interesting what else is there, we are happy to also assign you to the second part, but only if you tell us so. If you are done with that as well and want to do another category, you can also do that. But it's in total, what you have to do now is to go through the pool of projects that we assign to you. If you have the feeling that the category that we assign you to is completely out of your scope and you believe you could offer more value add in another category, then also please let us know. So if I assign some of you to learning, but you are totally into business, then I'm happy to make a change there. You can access the database whenever you want and make the jury schedule whenever you want and work on your own. We would really recommend to leave some comments in the database. There are two fields, and I will now share my screen so I give you a quick, I quickly show you the database. Most of the people in the jury already know it. Can everybody see my screen? Good. So I logged in as Adam Montandon, who would work on culture and tourism. I can click on one thing that is important. If you are also an expert, a national expert, you might see here that the call is closed, but then you have to click on vote, and then you are in this. Jetzt nicht. And here, sorry, homeschooling. Here you have to click on WSA 2020 unless if you see something else. Then you go on any of those products, go through whatever you see here. One thing that we would really recommend is to read the expert's reason of nomination. That's there should be explanation why the expert chose this solution as the best local available content. Then you read through the questionnaire, and in the very top, most of the submissions have a link to a video that should kind of give you a first overview. Please do not only watch the video, as you have a bit more time this time. We would really ask you to go a bit deeper, go through the web page, go through all the fields that they filled out and all the documentation, and not stick to the video only. The video itself is not obligatory, and please do not, if you see a fancy video from a successful startup and another solution that probably could not afford yet to do this kind of video, this is not about, it's about the local content, not about the professional marketing team. As soon as you read through all of the comments and all of the application, the whole application form, you can go to evaluate this project. And you see here 5 technical criteria, meaning content, functionality, design, and technology, and innovation. All of those will end up in the kind of rank list. These will form the rank list. And then we have 2 strategic scores, impact and the UN SDGs. So if a product is quite strong in the technical criteria, but very weak in the UN SDGs or in the local impact, another project that has probably the same technical criteria, but a stronger social impact will always be more likely to be a WSA winner. Those are also, if, as mentioned before, you have probably a very poor technical solution or simple technical solution, but the local impact for the community is extremely strong. These projects also then have a chance to be a potential winner. And this year we have an additional criteria called COVID-19 relevance. This has nothing to do if the project is relevant for COVID-19, will not affect the final list of winners. But what WSA will do this year is to come up with a kind of solution showcase of global solutions that contributed or that potentially could contribute for fighting a pandemic, be it in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of having people informed, or in ways how you can actually reactivate the economy. Here you can leave your personal notes, and here you can leave your comments. The comments will be seen by the other jury members and are in fact a kind of chat. So if you have something where you can either saw something in the video that you really liked, or you have a local context, or you know them, or whatever you have that you think would be relevant for the other jury members, please leave it here. If you have a conflict of interest, meaning that you have been involved in the product, you know someone from the team, you click here, and if not, you can save your evaluation. There is another button that you see here, suggest to switch or disqualify, that you can choose here. I would really ask you in this first online round not to request category changes. We had that in the past years, that some jurors evaluated 10 projects, and for the rest they just said it actually belongs to another category. This is not really helping the process, and I would just ask you not to do it this time, but to evaluate the project as if it would be probably in the other category. So evaluate the content that you see, and then make in the comment, make clear, I really for example, I really like this project, but it would really fit into another category. We will then discuss this later in the next jury round. If you believe it belongs to another category, but it's just a weak project, you just evaluate it with lower ranks, but can still make this comment that it's actually in the wrong category. If you have any troubles within the project, for example, a link is not working, or you believe you have any questions that are not answered in the questionnaire, then please also reach out to Manuela or myself, and we will be happy to reach out to the producers. That's basically it. I think one thing I just wanted to point out, especially for those who are probably new, WSA is not evaluating and also not asking for the business model, for investment readiness, any of that. WSA is a content award. It's about the local content, the relevance for the local communities. The project can be in any local language. However, the content in the database, so that thing that you have to evaluate has to be in English. But if you have the feeling, for example, that there is a solution that you cannot with Google Translate and whatever is there and whatever are the submission is in the submission, you still would need some guidance from someone talking the language. Also let us know. We have basically all languages covered within those 80 jury members, and then we are happy to guide you there. As Rudi is probably our most experienced super juror, I wanted to ask him if he has anything to add, if I forgot something, and also from your experience, if you have a best practice to share how to approach this online phase.
Sure. Well, the truth is that I go and do a very thorough analysis of the kind of and the innovation part, because that's what really drives me. And I really take a good time analyzing the products to understand what are the things, you know. I can share the way I do it, but and I can even share my working sheets if you want to. Let me share my screen. I don't know if it's going to make sense for you guys, but it makes a lot of sense for me, and also lets me understand better where the products are, what are the kind of innovation that they're moving, and all this kind of stuff. So I hope you understand my working papers. This is from last year online jury. This is my worksheet on education. So this is basic, you know. I just put here the number of the product, the link to the product. I try to create a one-tweet description to see if I understood the product well. It helps me to sympathize. I also try to put some keywords, like things that I think they're trying to put on the form, the information. If the platform if it's web or mobile, or what kind of platform is it, what technologies they're using. If there's some trends also on the market about it, you know, like it's gamification, big data. And then I do this analysis on innovation. If it's a system innovation, what kind of innovation? These are short terms for information, linked. If it's a distribution innovation, if it's analog, digital, it's a platform. In the market innovation part, it's a value niche, it's a cost niche. Energy innovation, if it's transforming something, it's closing gaps into spaces and this kind of stuff of things. And then what kind of long-term vision does the innovation has? It's a simple versus a complex system. Normally when you are innovating and it's a complex system, it tends at not continue in the future. It has some kind of auto-destroy component in the innovation. Sometimes innovations, you do something that in the long run is going to auto destroy it, or it's just a novelty. And then I put some notes. So, but this is the way I do it. You don't, you know, it's if you, I'm happy to share my sheets that I have done in the past, because this give me a pretty good look of the innovation. It's a component of the product, besides all the other information, because you know the other part is like pretty straightforward in terms of if it's if one of the criteria, for example, design, it's like you can see the moment you start interacting with the product, or you see a demonstration of the product, you can see if it is well designed or it's a little bit complicated. So all of those criteria, I think, are more simple. The technical part, we don't get to see the code, or if you don't know about programming, it's kind of difficult, but you can see if it's well done because it's working. You know, that's one of the things that I also, for me, that criteria is if I check and everything is working, then it's good. For example, yesterday I was evaluating a product for an education for the Arabic country, and it has 2 broken links. So for me, it's like, okay, this is not well done because they're missing parts, right? This shouldn't happen in a product that is already. And so I can't see the code, but I can see that some part of them are not working. So normally I don't go through all the sections of the product, because once I understand what the product is about, okay, this product is about the product that I was analyzing was about simulations of math and chemistry and physics for education. So the main thing is that the simulation works. So I went through and I played with the simulation and it worked. But then I go and click everywhere else to see if the product is complete. I don't get through, but I see, you know, the whole part, and that's where I found 2 broken links and other parts that were not ready. And then that's, you know, then the technical part didn't get a good score for me, because it was in the middle. Because even though the product is about the simulation, it has some broken links, you know, and that's the way I do the evaluation. And yeah, you know, I'm very passionate about this, so I'm always like going through all the products. And as I said, if you want me to share the way you know, even though my language is in Spanish, I always try to do it in English so I can share this with a network. So if at the end you want my analysis or innovation of the products, I'm happy to share it with you guys.
That would be great. However, I just wanted to mention, you don't have to do that. Basically, you have to find your own way. The only thing that we really ask you, and as we reduce the number of projects by a jury member, we would really ask you to take some time, think always also about the local content. There is a part in the questionnaire where we ask the producers to reflect on that, because it might be very different coming from your background, and if you see an application from somewhere completely different, you kind of need to think about the local relevance. Also, in terms of innovation, WSA winner could be something that is not innovative probably in your own country because you know it already, but if it's really a problem solver and really a new innovation for this specific country or community, then it could be still a WSA winner. What should not be a potential WSA winner is a solution that like the exact solution that we actually awarded already 1 or 2 years ago. But that's in the end something that is a bit more the job of the grand jury. I think, Manu, you also wanted to mention a few things, and then you can ask questions if there are any open issues.
So maybe just one thing that I would like to point out is, of course, that by the intense amount of countries that we are having, you will find a lot of the products maybe having a surprising different approach or being less in the standard of what you're used to. Still, it would be great if you can evaluate and focus a little bit also on showcasing diversity, that you also like honor sometimes when there is products that are very, very simple made, but are obviously outstanding for the local context where they're coming from. And the second thing that we have a lot of times is that our experts are from some countries very much struggling to find any kind of project. So through that, for them, it would be also sometimes great if we just hear back a little bit, okay, they got really evaluated, it's appreciated what they're doing. So if you could also make comments on that in the database, that would be great, because sometimes our experts are asking for that. Like, did the jury actually, are we going in the right direction, or what was the overall evaluation? So if you notice something like that, if you can leave us a comment in the database, that would be wonderful. And the last thing, there is always the thing that an organization might have been founded quite a long time ago, especially in Europe, that happens quite a lot. WSA has in the rules that there should be a major innovation or update made in the last 2 years, but sometimes the applications don't state that. So if there is any kind of confusion regarding that, please don't just disqualify, maybe just come back to us first and ask us, then we can ask the companies themselves to make that more clear. That was all from me, thank you.
Any questions other than hi Gabi, hi Manuel, Aga?
I wanted to ask simply, can we get, I have had some issues with my email account, so simply because I was overwhelmed with many things, I wonder if it would be convenient just to ask you to send again this intro package with the categorization that is category that I'm entitled to. I would also very much appreciate what Rudy has just actually shown to us. Indeed, it's very complex, and I really felt challenged while seeing how many details in a systematic way he actually tried to reflect on. I'm not sure if I would really be keen to follow each and every aspect, but I would really try to match some of the ideas with his methodology, because I really find it very, very useful and practical. So finally, it can be maybe useful also for the others.
Goran, if you want, I'm happy to have a session with you to explain each concept yes. that I analyze, and then you can go by yourself.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah. We can. I'm gonna put in the chat my mail so you can write me.
And Rudy, if you can just share the list, we will probably share it with all jury members so they can use it if they want to.
Yeah, sure. I'll share it with you, and I will leave it. It's a Google Sheet, so I will leave it so you can share it to everyone.
Cool.
It's from 2019, so they can mess it up if they want. We already have the winners.
Yeah.
Another thing is that happens sometimes if you are completely passionate about a certain project, or you believe there's such a relevance for your own work. Of course, we are happy to introduce you to the team. So just reach out. In terms of data protection, of course, the contact details of the producers are not seen for the jury members, but if you want introduction, we are happy to do so. For the next steps, so you will have now time. I forgot my own deadline until I think it was beginning of December. So you have some time to read through those. As mentioned again, if you are done and want to do more, we are happy to assign you to new projects. And then we are still thinking about, we have to see a bit the timeline. We would love actually to make with each category a super short call. So you can still discuss in a more interactive manner who should be on the shortlist, and all shortlisted projects are then again reviewed by the so-called grand jury, which this year will also take place online. There will be 32 jury members, and there each and every potentially winning project will be really discussed and voted on to make sure that we still have a very democratic decision on the winning projects. The winning projects will then be presented and awarded at the WSA Global Congress, which will also take place online this year. At least everybody within the community can participate, and I will definitely reach out to you to have you also actively involved to shape the agenda together. The idea is to have different hosting partners, and ideally one hosting partner in each of our world regions, but there will be more information and updates on that. So unless there are no questions,